In this expansive nursery, papaya seeds are meticulously sown into trays, setting the foundation for the entire plantation cycle under controlled conditions. Automated irrigation systems deliver precise water to each seedling tray, ensuring optimal germination as the trays progress through the nursery. Trays move into germination chambers where controlled heat and light coax the papaya seeds to sprout, tracked meticulously for quality. Scanners monitor each seedling's progress, measuring growth to ensure only the healthiest advance in this high-tech nursery environment. Robotic systems select the strongest seedlings, transplanting them while culling the weak to maintain plantation standards. Selected seedlings are assembled into transport-ready trays, spaced perfectly for robust growth in the fields ahead. Here in the hardening zone, seedlings acclimate to outdoor conditions, building resilience before plantation transfer. Field-ready trays are loaded onto trucks, prepared for precise planting in the vast papaya orchards.
Right here, watch that pallet. All right,
Trucks deliver the acclimated seedlings to the fields, where unloading begins the planting process in this expansive plantation. Automated planters insert seedlings into the soil, integrating irrigation for immediate support in the growing fields. Irrigation activates right after planting, providing essential water to help the young papayas establish roots. Fertilizer is applied to nourish the growing seedlings, guided by drone data for precise distribution. Robots detect and target pests early, deploying controls to protect the developing papaya crop. Pruning begins to shape the young plants, removing unnecessary growth for better fruit development. Pollination is boosted with drones and bees, ensuring abundant fruit set on these flowering papaya trees. Sensors track the early fruit set, providing data to optimize conditions for healthy papaya growth. Fertigation systems deliver tailored nutrients directly to the roots, supporting the fruits as they mature.
all right, swing it over this way.
Shade nets are deployed to shield developing papayas from intense sun, preventing damage during peak growth.
This cluster is reading 75% maturity.
Technicians assess fruit maturity with spectrometers, determining the optimal timing for harvest. drones conduct final surveillance, mapping mature fruits to guide the impending harvest operations.
Gate clear? Clear. All right, let's roll. Watch your spacing.
Harvest teams gear up with safety equipment, preparing to collect the ripened papayas from the trees.
Move the bin up 2 feet. All right, dropping the next load.
Mechanical arms carefully pick the mature
Clear the area,
papayas,
watch the arm.
minimizing damage as they transfer them to collection bins. Bins fill with freshly harvested papayas, weighed accurately to track the yield from each section. Forklifts transport the bins swiftly to cooling stations, preserving the freshness of the harvest. Cooled bins are loaded onto refrigerated trucks, ready for transport to the processing factory. The transport fleet sets off, with each truck tracked to ensure timely delivery of the fresh papayas. On the highway, the papayas remain chilled in transit, bridging the gap between field and factory. Trucks arrive at the factory, queuing for unloading to begin the intake process.
Hold it right there.
At the docks, bins are unloaded efficiently, feeding the papayas into the factory's intake system. Initial inspections cull damaged papayas, ensuring only prime fruit enters the processing line. Papayas enter the washing tunnel, where high-pressure sprays remove field residues.
Clear water rinse sequence. Initiating rinse cycle.
Through multiple rinses, the papayas are thoroughly cleaned, preparing them for further processing. Powerful air dryers remove excess moisture, preventing mold as the papayas move forward. Optical sorters classify papayas by size, streamlining the downstream processing. Graders evaluate each papaya for quality, diverting only the best for dessert production. Rejected fruits are diverted to byproducts, minimizing waste in this efficient system. Approved papayas accumulate in hoppers, buffering the supply for continuous processing. Papayas are aligned and fed into peeling machines, starting the transformation process. Automated blades remove the outer skin, revealing the vibrant papaya flesh beneath. Peel waste is collected and compacted, recycled where possible in this sustainable operation. A quick rinse cleans the peeled flesh, removing any residual particles. Coers extract the seeds, leaving clean papaya flesh for the next steps. Extracted seeds are cleaned and separated, valued for their own uses in the industry. Dicers transform the flesh into uniform cubes, ideal for blending into desserts. Inspections ensure diced papaya meets standards before proceeding to pureeing. Diced pieces enter blenders, pureed into a smooth base for dessert recipes. Strainers refine the puree, removing any remaining fibers for a velvety texture. Pasteurized puree is rapidly cooled, preserving flavor and safety. Holding tanks keep the puree agitated and ready for integration into dessert formulations. Expanded docks scan and receive incoming loads, scaling up for peak harvest volumes. Advanced detectors scan for foreign materials, safeguarding the processing stream. Preliminary sprayers remove loose soil, preparing papayas for thorough cleaning. Brushes scrub away stubborn residues, ensuring hygienic fruit for processing. Sanitizing dips eliminate microbes, a critical step in food safety. Air knives dry the sanitized papayas, readying them for precise sorting. Optical sorters use light spectra to detect and remove imperfect papayas. Final manual grading refines the selection, ensuring premium quality. Buffer conveyors regulate the flow, preventing bottlenecks in production. Entry gates secure the transformation hall, where papayas begin their change into dessert ingredients. Accelerated peelers efficiently strip the skin, advancing the fruit toward pulping. Enzymes soften the flesh in controlled baths, facilitating easier pulping. Rinsing removes enzyme residues, preserving the natural papaya flavor. Pulpiers break down the flesh into a fine, usable pulp for desserts. Homogenizers ensure the pulp is smooth and consistent throughout. Fine sieves remove any lingering solids, refining the pulp further. Pasteurizers heat the pulp to eliminate pathogens, ensuring safety. Rapid cooling locks in freshness after pasteurization. Storage silos hold the processed pulp, ready for dessert manufacturing. Pulp is metered into mixing vats, combined with sweeteners to begin dessert-based creation. Blenders emulsify the mix, creating a creamy texture for papaya desserts. Aeration infuses air, giving the dessert its light and airy consistency. Depositors mold the mixture into individual dessert portions. Chilled tunnels set the gels, solidifying the papaya desserts. Robots demold the set desserts, handling them delicately. Toppings are applied precisely, enhancing the visual appeal of the desserts. Flash freezing preserves the fresh taste and texture of the papaya desserts. Buffered frozen desserts await packaging, maintained at optimal temperatures. Integration robots transfer desserts to packaging, ensuring smooth handover. Wrappers encase each dessert, protecting it for distribution. Samples are tested for quality, verifying the final product standards. Robots carton the desserts, preparing them for bulk shipping. Labels and codes are applied, tracking each box through the supply chain. Pallets are shrink-wrapped, securing the desserts for transport. Forklifts load pallets into trucks, initiating distribution. Trucks are dispatched with GPS tracking, heading to markets across the USA. At market centers, pallets are unloaded, ready for retail distribution. Desserts hit the shelves, available for consumers to enjoy. Consumers purchase and savor the final product, completing the journey from plantation to plate.